Greetings, ladies and gentlemen, for the third official episode of the Sideshows of the Internet podcast, or SOTI cast. I am your host, Pixelbane, where you join me on my journey through the deepest recesses of the internet and human subconsciousness, where we cover infamous, sometimes a little less infamous individuals on the internet that I either personally know about or have zero recollection of, and you're just with me on our journey through these people's lives and why people were attracted to them in the first place, or why they were labeled as lolcows to begin with. Today's episode, we are covering one Todd Daughtry. To be honest, his last name is a little strange. I don't know if it's Daughtry or whatever, but he's commonly referred to as N9OGL on ham radio. You know, speaking of ham radio, this is the reason why I came to his Kiwi Farms page and his thread, rather, written up by MSpecs himself. Because, like, I don't know, for a while I wanted to possibly get into ham. I don't know, it's pretty autistic, I'm gonna be honest. But I don't know, it's just like a hobby, you know, like a strange hobby. And I don't know. I kind of blame Review Bra for it. I don't know. It's just something about talking to people through some antiquated radio technology, right? Because we have the internet at our fingertips, and if we've been able to talk to people through IRC and VoIP things for years now. So I don't know. It's just something. Maybe it's a little hipstery. I don't know. But anyway, we're covering good old Todd here in this episode. And now, what you might ask, what makes Todd so special? And you know, it really comes down to him, for lack of a better word, spurging out when anything doesn't go his way. And he's not a young dude, you know. I don't know his exact age, but in one of his mugshots he does have some gray hair. There are reports allegedly that he is a manlet. I suppose I could look through his court record, because yes, he does have about like 6 or 7 cases that were filed against him in his county. But I don't know if they include height, or they have to include his age, but he's definitely no spring chicken. So it just adds to the hilarity of it all, of this, like, possibly boomer just blowing his top over the smallest of things and getting in trouble for it. But at the same time, he's this staunch supporter of our amendment rights. Basically is how they were written. Basically a constitutionalist to the extreme. Except sometimes not, but we'll cover that a little bit. And I don't know, like, the ANCAP in me, the meme ANCAP in me, just wants to be on his side. Except, you know, when he starts making threats, that gets him in trouble. I don't know, when he's spurging out. But let's just dive right in. No more quick overview of good old Todd here. What I believe drew the ire of people to Todd, or the attention of lolcow-seeking individuals, was a threat that he made that landed him in prison for a little bit. He would later be released, though, for 2 felony charges for saying that he would, quote, make Sandy Hook look like a Sunday school picnic. That is pretty intense. You know, I can imagine people being a little concerned, especially in our current day and age, where fucking psychopaths just fucking shoot up schools for attention all the time. You know, I don't know. I don't think that was the smartest thing to say at all. I don't understand what would send him overboard. But he's been on this crusade against his local government for quite some time, complaining about how they violated his amendment rights, specifically the 14th Amendment, which I don't understand how that really applies to his case here. But I don't know, maybe there's some deeper lore that someone who is more of a Todd lore keeper can enlighten me on why the fuck he believes his 14th Amendment rights were, like, violated. But this little tirade that he had is not the first, not the last, but definitely landed him in the public eye. And after this happened, that's when the trolls started to come out. They started digging into his past on ham, as well as his own personal websites that would constantly get taken down and then re-uploaded into a different web address because of potential threats against people. That's a common theme here. that this guy constantly threatened people with, like, violence, like potentially killing people, because they made fun of him. This is the quintessential mad at the internet. I have to name drop fucking Josh's stream here because this guy is the quintessential person who's being mad at the internet. People are saying things and he's losing his fucking mind. Like, he threatened to Molotov cocktail or pipe bomb the Consolidated Communications, like, a service provider for broadband. I don't know what. I'm just reading this straight off of the Kiwi Farm says. I don't know what would trigger him that hard to go after a broadband service provider. Did he have, like, an internet outage one day and that just set him off? I don't know. He would have posts on his public website, it's like saying things like April 14th is quickly approaching. You are all ready for I'm going to kill some cops. And then he would do laughing like bwahaha, bang bang, cops, bang bang, bwahaha. Like, that's just insanity. Like, fucking what? Like, call to public fucking action against, like, government officials? Like, that's just stupid. Like, what the fuck would you do that? And then he would have posts with showing a 3D rendering of a pipe bomb on his websites with the title coming soon and then boom. Like, this guy is legitimately unhinged. I don't know. I personally think that he is unhinged. Like, no normal human would act like this. But once the trolls found these, they just started going after him on Twitter. They would reply to basically in the same way that people do to Chris or any other locale that has a Twitter account that they post to. They would just reply to literally everything he posts. And there's a lot of caps here by this Mad Vlad character trolling this motherfucker. But apparently he got upset with people calling him, like, autistic. So apparently in one of his trials, he had to have a test for autism or maybe other mental illness. I don't know. It was part of the court proceedings. And Mad Vlad here says maybe he was sociopathic instead of autistic. And Todd goes back and says, nope, there's nothing wrong with me. And then obviously, Mad Vlad here, the mad lad that he is, the logical, normal, well-adjusted human, even though he's trolling some mentally ill person, it says that normal people don't threaten to shoot up 12-year-olds at soccer practice games or schools. And he comes back with this statement. That was years ago, jackass. No one cares except you. When he was arrested for the threat, I think it was 2015, I believe. And that this Twitter exchange is 2018. So yes, people can change, People can make mistakes and improve from them and be less of assholes or problem people for society. But I don't know, Todd. I don't know. You threaten these people with violence. I think you might have, if you don't have a sociopathic disorder or a psychopathic disorder or autism or Asperger's or anything that would affect your way of social communication, then you probably have an anger management problem, and you probably should get that under control, because you don't want to have a heart attack. That would be not very good. But him being a proponent of the amendments, obviously that will include free speech, even though free speech is just speech against the government. He takes it in the sense that you can comment on his stuff on his website. He doesn't want to censor you from saying what you want. Which, that's quite admirable. But at the same time, he has a little sub-note saying that he doesn't accept libel or slander. And, that's understandable too. But by putting that there, you're just gonna get libel or slander. You're gonna get people that are either gonna say things about you or write things about you that aren't true just to get under your skin. Or maybe they even are true. I mean, it's not libel or slander if what you're saying is patently true or an opinion. But since people do these things, he replies to these comments occasionally, or at least used to. And this is one such reply. Dear stupid fuck! Exclamation point, exclamation point, exclamation point. Fuck you. How about coming over so I can put a fucking bullet through your fucking kneecap, you stupid fuck? Better, one through your fucking brain, because did he he spelled because wrong. Like, becausein? After all, stupid fucks like you don't need to fucking breed. By the way, remove the site or I will have Google remove it. If they won't, I will DOS attack their sorry ass till I fucking die. Again, fuck you. So, it's a little extreme, threatening to kill someone, that is definitely not good. Also, threatening to denial of service someone's website is also not good. But he doesn't care. He just says what is on his mind. And again, I go back to last episode, the concept of the Chad. Before the Chad was co-opted just to mean the cool hipster dude, the Chad meme was really just someone who just didn't give a fuck and was just living their life. And this guy, I think, in my opinion, despite being a fucking manlet, he is technically a Chad, I think, in my book. Not really that's a good thing. I'm not saying that's a good thing. This motherfucker, in my opinion, probably needs some help. I think every human, to some degree, could use some help, myself included. But I don't know. Being this mad about a Kiwi Farms article or an Ed article or something awful forum post from way long ago or 4chan stuff, I just can't imagine getting so angry that you're gonna type to someone saying that you're gonna fucking kill them. It's just insane to me. And it doesn't stop there. I believe this is a forum for ham radio operatives. And he started the thread saying $5,000 to the first person to put a bullet in this one person's head. I'm not gonna say their name. But Jesus, Todd. What the fuck? That's illegal too. Everything he does is straight fucking illegal and insane. I can't imagine getting this fucking mad. Hate bonering so hard for individuals. Especially ones in local government, like one Lisa Madigan? I don't know how to say her last name. But he would be upset with the continual violation of his 14th Amendment rights. This would be a common occurrence through his posts, especially threatening with violence local officials. But he would send her a tweet going to sue the city, Illinois, at Lisa Madigan for $9 million. Violations of rights under the 14th Amendment. Doesn't go into details of what the violations were here. I mean, possibly if he took a more, level-headed approach and laid out how he could have had his 14th Amendment rights violated, maybe he would have gotten some attention. Especially if we live in a cancel culture age. If you made yourself look up to be this tragic victim here, maybe people would have responded. I mean, it was in 2017 though. That was a little bit before cancel culture started really getting off. So I'm not too sure. And I guess Todd is a tragic figure. At least I view a lot of these locals as tragic figures. It doesn't stop me from enjoying or laughing at the madness or the insanity or the craziness or any of that. Oh my goodness, my puppy dog just walked in. I was gonna cut this out, but she's honking her toy right now, and it is quite adorable. You gotta stop, little one. No more. Anyway, I lost my train of thought there. I had to play with her for a little bit. She's just too adorable. Now she's laying next to me. Hopefully she won't make too much noise, but anyway, he would continue to say that their time will come, and along with the Lisa person, as I said before, soon enough. And he'd make these ominous statements July is slowly coming. He knows what he's doing. He knows that he's just making these thinly veiled threats just to, get under these people's skin. I can't imagine the reason why. He has to know that this is not going to work in his favor. It hasn't worked in his favor. He's had multiple court cases against him, possibly for all similar things to this, of threats. He was going to face federal charges until they were dropped for things like this. I just don't understand. I really don't understand what drives someone to this level. But the Second favorite thing that I came across on this thread on Kiwi Farms of good old Todd was this Walmart drama. And I'm going to read the 3 Blogspot posts about this drama. And we can indulge in the madness here. Friday, March 8th, 2013. Let's talk about Walmart. Normally, I don't go on here and rant about Walmart. However, it's getting to the point that they are really pissing me off. It began on Saturday the 16th of this year. I was working on that Saturday, and at noon, it was time for me to go on lunch. The other part pusher had arrived, and I headed to lunch. I would like to point out that I was scheduled to lunch, and under Illinois law, I'm required to have one. Now, when I returned back from lunch, I was called into the cash office by the zone manager, who wrote me up for not doing my job, because I went to lunch. I was also written up because since I didn't do my job because I was at lunch, they had to send people out to do my job. Remember, there was another cart pusher there besides me. Then, the following Saturday, after that, February 23rd, I was scheduled a lunch but got none. A violation of Illinois law. The reason I got no lunch was because unlike the weekend before, when someone came in to cover my lunch, on the 23rd, I was the only one there, and I was working on a Saturday alone. Tell me, what kind of fucking morons only have one cart pusher at Walmart Supercenter on a Saturday? But that's not all. Since that event, the zone manager and even the CSM seems to have a fucking grudge to get rid of me. And Walmart wonder why people want to strike. Hell, I'm surprised a fucking employee hadn't come in with a gun and started killing people. Because of the way they treat their people. They claim I'm not doing my job, yet I work my ass off. The other cart pushers complain that I'm not sociable. They think that they should stand around for 15 to 30 minutes talking and bullshitting with each other. Look, I'm there to work, not socialize. If you don't like it, then fire me. I'm getting paid to work, not stand around with the other cart pushers talking for hours on end. You know, this whole, I don't know if you guys have seen the Dilbert animations. I forgot like what exactly they're called, but they're the grotesquely animated like MS Paint style Dilbert episodes that someone decided to make. They're insane. They got like music from the RoboCop video game for Game Boy Advance that was also used in Space Station 13. They got some good lines like Ranch or Cool Ranch. But essentially like Dilbert goes on like a fucking postal shooting spree in the office. And I don't know why, just reading about this Todd fellow and reading this Walmart first story here and talking about he wanted to like, or he didn't want to, but he was surprised that no one had shot up Walmart before. And the way he kind of looks, he's got like, I think he's got glasses, right? I don't know if I'm imagining that. I got to make sure I get all my facts straight. Yeah, he's got glasses and some gray hair. He kind of looks like he could be a Dilbert. So I don't know why Ranch or Cool Ranch now is stuck in my head, but now I have to deal with that. But continuing on, he would make another post about Walmart, Tuesday, December 3rd, 2013. Let's talk about Walmart. Here's the problem I have with Walmart. Walmart's open door policy does not work. This idea that you can go to the higher-ups to resolve any issue is nothing more than a lie. Reason, they all think the same. They are nothing more than robots that spout the same crap over and over again. Walmart forces their employees to sign a paper, even if the employee disagrees with it. Walmart's attitude is sign this or we will terminate you. I would like to know what contract an employee signs that states that if you don't sign this paper, you will be terminated. Especially over a deal like wearing a Hawaiian shirt one day. Now, okay, I'm breaking off here. Like this the Hawaiian shirt thing too. This brings me back to those Dilbert animations. I don't know, I can't remember the names of them, but there was like 3 of them, like Dilbert 1, 2, and 3, or Dilbert 1 and 2. If you search those on YouTube, you're going to come across the videos, guaranteed. They're probably huge at this point in time. They got probably over 1 million views, I'd be willing to bet. But you should watch them, they're good. But anyway, fired an employee over wearing a Hawaiian shirt one day. I mean, serious. They made a big stink over something as stupid as that. Like I said in the emails to Walmart, there were less restrictive ways about going about it. Walmart doesn't care. Like the robots they are, they don't want to look at an alternative or alternatives. They only believe in the one way to do it. Sam Walton believed that Walmart shouldn't be against change, but when it comes to resolving an issue, well, apparently, Walmart doesn't listen. That's why you have a large group of people against them. Walmart believes in its core belief, but when it comes to listening to employees, it falls on deaf ears. Perhaps that's why Walmart doesn't like unions, because with a union, they would have to listen to alternatives. So, what was this about I was written up for? I was wearing a Hawaiian shirt to work, then refused to sign a paper, which basically means you admitting to your own guilt, and they terminated me for it. No one should be fired over wearing a Hawaiian shirt, and no one should be forced to sign a paper admitting their guilt, especially over something as stupid as that. So he basically got fired because he broke dress code and wore a Hawaiian shirt and then refused to admit guilt to it. I mean, that sucks. To be honest, that sucks. I mean, working at Walmart can't possibly be a fun job or an enjoyable job. And I would probably imagine you'd feel like your brain cells were like evaporating into the ether every second that you work there. But still, though, man, oh, Jesus, losing your job because of that. That's terrible. Like, fuck Walmart. But also, I'm not trying to say that I'm on Todd's side here. Just fuck Walmart. But before we get into a clip of him spurging out on ham radio, which is my favorite little aspect of this journey down this rabbit hole, I came across a little post that he posted on his one of his blog spots on October 13th, 2015. Apparently, he was working on a light novel, and I guess I should say this at first. He is a fan of Lolicon, which is, for those uninitiated into degeneracy, is the enjoyment of watching or looking at manga or hentai of underage anime individuals. I mean, it's not technically child porn, but it is, you are jacking off or masturbating to images of children. I don't really care. I'm not going to get into this. I don't think it's right, but I'm not going to fucking go after him for this because it's the most autistic thing. Like, everyone knows fucking children is wrong, right? And the people that don't care about what I have to say about it. But he was working on a light novel called Usagi Ichihara? Okay, yeah, so rabbit something. And it's about a 13-year-old girl Jesus, my brain is struggling. Enrolled at the Moriboshi Girl Academy. It's a student's academy for all girls. So it's a Yuri. He's writing like a lolly Yuri thing. I don't know if he still wrote that or he finished that. There's some comments on this. Let me see if those were archived. Ooh, content warning. Oh no, Blogspot. Yeah, I wish to continue. Show me this. It's I mean, this is dumb. It's not even that funny. The first comment is by Anonymous saying, just more kiddie porn. And then he comes up, how is this child porn? You don't know what you're talking about. Oh my god. I don't want to go into it too much because it's a fucking dark subject and I don't want to get into it. But it's just another aspect of his character, I guess. He's into Lolicon, and he would post, like, Twitter images about Lolicon stuff. It's just another aspect. If you're interested, I will keep it to that so that we don't delve too deep into that shit, because, that is, it's not something everyone wants to hear about, some old dude being into younger, super young, animated girls. But I don't think it's technically illegal in the United States, so it's not against the law. I don't know. I don't want to even think about it. Let's just move on to the meat and potatoes here. So some quick background. As I stated before, good old Todd here is really into ham radio, and he got his license revoked probably because of him spurking out on the air. So the FCC pulled his ham radio license, so he can't broadcast legally now. But there is apparently a channel called 14.313, and it's, I guess, apparently is like the /B of ham radio, so it's anyone just can fucking talk there. The crazies would be there. It's just the cesspool of ham radio, I guess. And yeah, he would talk there a bunch, like talk about how he got fired from Walmart, his hate boner for the local government, his hate for the trolls, all this stuff. He would just vent there, and I guess it was probably good for him to have a venting place, but people fucking hated him for it. So let's just there's a lot of terminology that these ham operators have that I don't understand because I haven't taken the classes and I don't know anything about it other than wanting to potentially get into it one day. Maybe visit 14.3.3 or was it 14.313? But oh, and also pay attention. He is the one screaming in the background. His audio seems to be a little low, so I'm gonna boost it up. So I'm gonna apologize right now if it's a little loud, but otherwise you wouldn't be able to hear him. So let's just get right into it.
N9OGL, there's a QSO in progress. You're interfering with an ongoing QSO with your broadcast.
N9OGL, stop jamming.
K4FNI, this is N8YH. Well, it sounds like your rig is certainly doing a good job. We did have a little QSB and a little QRN on that last go-round, but you dropped down to a 5.5, and then you went up to plus 10. So it works okay, but I certainly would love to have a beam or some kind of a rotatable 3 or 4 element yay.
So, like, essentially, he's just screaming nonstop. Like, I cannot make out what he's saying, but he's jamming the airwaves, so, like, no one else can speak, and obviously that's probably pissing these ham operators off a lot. They probably hated this motherfucker. But let's continue.
He's sitting up top here, but not so far. Anyway, Glenn, I'm gonna go have supper. I got the XYL's hollering at me to get out of here. So I'm gonna say 7 trees to you. I hope you guys get some rain. I hope we do too. And I'll say 7 trees to you.
Please stand by. There's ongoing QSO.
Please stand by. There's ongoing QSO. I don't know what QSO is. But maybe it's just status updates or something. But he's trying so hard to be heard. He's telling them to listen to him. He wants them to hear his rants. And like, I love it when he says, "Fuck you." That's like the only thing I can hear him say other than "get your heads out of your ass." But there's about a minute left. Let's just listen to the rest of this while I pet my doggo.
That's intentional, and these guys do it. Again, I was here first. Screw you, QSY. I was here first.
Ah, okay. So I see the crux of this situation. Good old Todd here, or N9OGL, was probably broadcasting for quite some time, ranting, and then people came in and cut him off because he was just like jamming the airwaves with his nonsense, and they cut him off. So then he just lost his shit. That is my assumption here, based on the snippets of vocalizations I can hear from this man's guttural voice and shit microphone.
And don't give me this please stand by shit. Get out here first. I have the frequency. I'm gonna put up with your shit. I'm gonna put up with the shit today,
With
folks.
that shit!
You ham operators,
It's like fucking Tourette's guy, man.
You know what? Let them kill me for another 20 years. What the hell, They said it for 20 frequency. We'll get up there, raise the asses. So I am. People criminally had the failure on the frequency, folks. Well, in fact, I was. Let's see if anyone else wants to make a comment. This is N9OGL.
9OGL,
Oh, but there's some more.
please don't yell at me. The frequency's in use, sir. Please stand by and don't yell.
Okay, so I didn't listen to this whole thing before. I only listened to about half of it because I didn't want to spoil myself. But that guy is so fucking. I think he realized that him, like, acting so calm and like nonchalant to tell him down would fuck with him. I'm about to hit play. There's about like 20 seconds more. I'm gonna assume that this calm individual, this true Chad, telling him to calm the fuck down, this is like settle his jimmies down, is gonna set him the fuck off. I could be wrong. Let's see.
Fuck you!
I knew it. I fucking knew it. That is the classic right there. Just telling someone just to calm the fuck down, but be so polite about it. Oh my god. And that's essentially it. There's a lot of stuff on him on this thread on the Kiwi Farms. So, like, most of my stuff, you can probably find articles on Kiwi Farms or some archived version of Ed. Unfortunately, fucking 8chan's gone, so lolcow thread's gone. So it's getting a little harder to find these individuals or information on them without, like, actually being obsessed with them or knowing them firsthand. Which is where you guys come in. If you are listening to this right now, I invite you to basically write my show for me. That's the layman's terms of this. If you have, like, a person of interest that you would like me to cover, or, like, any corrections, like if you're a lore master of any of these people, please contact me at pixelbanebusiness@gmail.com. That is PIXEL business@gmail.com. And you can correct me on my bullshit if I'm wrong about things, or if I miss some really important things about an individual, or if you have a person you would like me to cover, or you have fan mail, or questions, or if you have any personal stories, your own spaghetti stories, feel free to send me those. I would love to read those on air. I'll keep them anonymous unless otherwise stated. But I'd like to bring, I hate using this word, but some form of community around this. Not like we're friends or anything, because friends on the internet are not a thing. But a group of individuals make this podcast like a good old family affair. And I will say this again. I will say this in every episode. I do not condone the bullying of these individuals. While I will laugh at people who have bullied these people, and I will take enjoyment of the schadenfreude of their lives, because my life is terrible and I like laughing at people's lives that are worse than mine. And I have to deal with the dichotomy of all this. I don't condone the bullying of them, personally. I don't. No one wants to be bullied. Just observe them from a glass window and take in the wondrous sights of someone spurging out or being just generally weird. But don't bully them. That's not cool, fams. That's not cool. Even though that this episode was about a man who just freaked his shit out because people bullied him, and that's why he's funny. I can't deal with the cognitive dissonance. My brain is too small for this type of thought. But I'll catch you guys next time. You all stay autistic, you hear?